Welcome to my Pokemon Emerald Hardcore Nuzlocke. So I've never done a Nuzlocke before, so this will be interesting. No perfect plays because I am bad. Time to go touch Brendan's balls. First we run over to Brendan's house, touch his balls, and then we save the Pokemon Professor from a wild level 2 Zigzagoon because he cannot protect himself. I beat up some wild animals. Dropkick bait.
Wreck. You could do movies, sure.
First rule of Nuzlocking, nickname every Pokemon so you become attached to them when they die. I catch a Poochyena and a Wurmple on routes 102 and 103, and they instantly die to a Tailo because I pull them out and they get murdered. I avenged them with my nameless starter and continue on my way.
So you have lost both Pokemon we nicknamed.
Rule 2, catch the first Pokemon per route. Rule 3, Pokemon dies, it is dead and it can never be used again. I watched the weird kid Wally catch a Roll, which will never be a problem in the future. I catch a Marill and a Tailo, which everyone was super excited about. Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah?
We repel through the route north of Ruthborough to catch a Whismur and Whismur Tunnel, and then we catch an Abra. Last 3 rules. There is a level cap. Next, we can't use items in battle.
Because they're over, penis!
No X items, but you can use held items. You play on set mode, which means you don't get free switches. Roxanne is fairly trivial with the water or grass type. Spam water gun twice to kill the Geodudes, and then click it a couple of times to eat through the Oranberry and potions of Roxanne. I use rare candies to get to the level cap because
grinding is cringe and cheating is based.
I send Brendan crying back to his mother after I sweep him with Chuck, 2 quick attacks and a wing attack. We head to Duford Town, catch a Makuhita, I catch a Tentacool, evolve some of my Pokemon by shoving rare candies in their face, poison my Tailo on a wild Tentacool, and then mop the floor with Brawly. Tailo has the ability Guts, which gives you a 50% increase in your attack when it has a status affliction. So, by poisoning my Tailo, we can completely destroy Brawly with a couple of wing attacks. I head over to Slateport, bully some Aqua Grunts, and then I catch a Gulpin, which we were not happy about.
You got scrimmed? Scammed?
I mean, Gulpin isn't that bad, right?
No, it's pretty bad.
Now for rival Brendan. He sends out Slugma to start, and we send out Marshtomp. He survives a water gun with a sliver of HP to deal us some Ember, but then he dies to another water gun. Then he sends out Grovyle, and we switch to Chuck. We take an Absorb and a Quick Attack before Grovyle goes down to a Wing Attack. We switch back to Marshtomp when Wingull comes out. We miss a Rock Tomb, then he starts water gunning us, and we get confused. We end up using an Oranberry. After some unfortunate luck, we finally kill him with a Rock Tomb. I find the weird kid Wally blocking the gym, and I just shoot him with a Mud Shot for the one shot. Tailo evolves into Swallow, and Makuhito evolves into Hairy Mama, and I guess Whismur evolves into Loudred. After about half an hour of planning, I think we have a plan for Watson. So Watson sends out his Voltorb, and we send out Hairy Mama. We use Fake Out, he paralyzes me, but we get cured with the Cherry Berry, and then we use a Vital Throw for the kill on Voltorb. Electric comes out, but he dies to a crit Vital Throw. Magneton comes out, and he confuses us, and we hit ourselves in confusion a couple of times. And so we predict a Shockwave and switch to Marshtomp, and we don't take any damage. And then he confuses us again, but we hit through the confusion and manage to kill the Magneton in one Mud Shot. Manectric comes out, but because he won't use any electric moves, we switch to Chuck and then switch back to Marshtomp to get rid of the confusion. And that forces him to use an electric move because he wants to kill the Swallow. We then Mud Shot twice to kill the Manectric, and then we beat Watson. I was super happy about this. Deathless Watson! I grab Rock Smash from the Rock Smash guy and cry because I know that 30-minute deliberation is nothing compared to what we're going to have to deal with soon. I catch an Oddish west of Mauville and name it Audrey 2, and then we go north above Mauville to continue on the story. We catch a Numel, a Zubat, Audrey evolves into Gloom, and at some point we catch a Zigzagoon, but I don't have the footage. Nothing else eventful happens between then and Maxie. We one-shot the Mightyena with a crit Vital Throw. We also one-shot the Zubat with a Rock Tomb. Then Camerupt comes out. We switch to Chuck, expecting a Magnitude, but he tackles instead. We get 2 wing attacks off, and then he potions. We get a 3rd wing attack off, but we're too low. So we switch back to Marshtomp, but he burns us, and then I finish him off with a water gun. At this point I was fairly cocky, but I had only just completed the tutorial. I one-shot Flannery's Numble with Bubble Beam, I one-shot the Slugma, and then I one-shot the Camerupt because I level up to level 30 during the fight, which is okay as long as we were below or at the level cap before we start the battle. But then Torkoal comes out, and we do not one-shot it with a Bubble Beam. Torkoal then attracts us, we miss because we're a simp, and then he paralyzes us with Body Slam, and then he Body Slams us again and crits. The forgetful amnesiac forgets they're in love, and hits the Torkoal with the Bubble Beam, but leaves Torkoal with a sliver. I switch to Marsh Jump on a Hyper Potion. I try for a Water Gun, but it does basically nothing. And then he attracts, and sets up a Sunny Day, and we just can't get an attack in. He then crits us with Body Slam, and I panic switch to Numble, thinking I can take an attack, but he overheats and we get one shot. I switch to Jackie Chan, use Fake Out, then he Body Slams me for a bit of damage, but he paralyzes me. That powers up my guts, and I use a Vital Throw to leave him in the red. Flannery potions onto a Vital Throw. I use another Vital Throw to get her back to the red, but if she hits an overheat and crits, Jackie Chan dies. So I switch back to Dory and hope I don't get crit on Dory. She goes for overheat and she doesn't crit. We're alive. Then she goes for an attract. We click Bubble Beam, and Dory's short-term memory comes in handy as we manage to hit the Torkoal and she forgets she's in love and kills the enemy Torkoal.
Just keep swimming, just keep swimming, just keep swimming, swimming, swimming. What do? We swim.
I catch a Trapinch, buy some mail, and trade the mail for a coin case. I then call up my brother who works at Nintendo and trade my Kadabra back for an Alakazam. We're trying to figure out how to beat Mr. Daddy.
My favorite gym leader, Mr. Daddy.
Daddy Norman.
In a minute. He's literally your dad.
Yeah.
I mean, he is, but like, shut up.
Well then, let's fight Norman. We fire off a Confusion on Alakazam, and it leaves Spinda in the red. And then we get confused, and then we hit ourselves, Norman Hyper Potions, and then we hit it again, and then we leave Spinda in the yellow. And then we hurt ourselves again. And then we hurt ourselves again. I end up bringing the Death Fodder Mon Venom out, and he was so useless I thought. I didn't even update his sprite on the sprite tab. I use Venom to get some damage off on Vigoroth before I switch in Chuck to finish off the Vigoroth. I switch in the newly dubbed Shrek, risking a critical hit, but getting a critical hit of our own, killing the Lanoon. Slacking comes out, but I don't want to use any scumbag strats yet, so we're not going to abuse Dig or Protect. Instead, I switch to Toothless, which is a Gyarados, which I evolved from a Magikarp caught from one of the 72 possible fishing encounters. I get off 2 Dragon Rages before I switch to Hariyama. Harimama comes out, and then we get hit with a Ruthless Fachade, and then we hit a Vital Throw, leaving Slacking in the red. Norman Hyper Potions, but it's not enough as we critical hit and one-shot the Slacking for the victory. I demolish a few Aqua Grunts and the Weather Institute, and get a Cast Form to never be seen again. I have a nice fight with Brendan as I completely clown on him with Swalot, the Pokemon that we said was bad. While fighting one of the trainers in Winona's gym, I accidentally switch in Shrek and get crit Razor Leaf, and we lose our starter. Oh! Well.
Ah!
I clicked the wrong Pokemon. I clicked the
Well
wrong...
then, that's the first death that hurts.
He was exactly right. Losing Shrek was so heartbreaking, you could tell in my voice. I really wanted Shrek to become a Swampert. The next day, I came back, evolved Zubat, and was ready to beat Winona. 2 hours later, I step into Winona's gym, expecting the worst. I surf, then Ice Beam to make sure Winona doesn't heal, which baits out Altaria. Ice Beam has a 90% chance to kill, and then it doesn't kill. I tank a non-critical hit Earthquake, and then predicting a heal, I go for Ice Beam. She heals, and then we miss the 90% chance to kill again, leaving her with another sliver. We go for a third Ice Beam. She doesn't heal, and we kill the Altaria. We surf. Skarmory throws with the sand attack. We surf, leaving Skarmory on what must be 1 HP. We get hit with an Aerial Ace, and then we surf to finish off the Skarmory. Seeking vengeance. Tentacruel one-shots the trophies with an Ice Beam. I switch to Toothless, and we just spam strengths to kill the final Pelipper. Deathless Winona. I promptly dropkick Brendan, and then I head to Mount Piree. Alright, what is my Mount Piree encounter? It's a Muppet. I catch Casper, then head to the Magma Hideout. We're now in the Magma Hideout. Spooky. Alright, now I gotta rub my 10-year-old brain cells together and solve the strength puzzle. Genius. Being cocky, I go into Maxie's team without looking at it, and just hope I can kill him like I did last time. We get hit with a non-critical hit, takedown, and we bring Mightyena into the yellow. We switched for Audrey as he switches for Crobat. Excuse me, he switched? Since when does the AI have more than 6 brain cells? Tentacruel takes a wing attack, and then I switch to Gyarados on a critical hit wing attack. I'll just get sweeped by Maxie! Thinking I can survive a non-critical hit wing attack, I go for Strength, but it gets the critical hit, and we lose Gyarados. After some Crobat shenanigans, we killed the Crobat with a Psychic. You could just see the look of relief on my face. Yes!
Crobat is dead.
But we're not out of the woods yet. Maxie stalls with potions. Chuck hits himself because he sees a duck. And then we switch to Audrey. I miss a sleep powder, then switch back to Chuck. We live a takedown on 9 HP. We fly, and we leave Mightyena in the red. Suelo then goes down. I switch to Tentacles, and then we kill Mightyena with a Surf. Then we outspeed and one-shot the Camerupt. It really sucks losing some great team members just before Tate and Liza. I infiltrate the Team Aqua hideout, get the weird purple ball, and then I catch my own upside-down Pokeball. Being stupid, I lose my Tentacruel in one of the 417 double battles. Okay. Sure, I accidentally lost my Tentacruel because I'm stupid.
Uh-oh.
What to?
Earlier.
Well?
And to replace him, I get a Sharpedo. I pick up some swag glosses and give them the Shark Speedo. Shuppet evolves into Bayonetta and whispers, "I'll remember you when I'm famous." I battle Tate and Liza. I tie a scarf around my Pokeball and detonate a nuke, leaving nothing alive for miles except for the scarf and my shark.
You went into the fight and set off a bomb.
The swagger of Jaws kills Solrock and Lunatone, and we beat Tate and Liza with one planned death. Double battle with Steven Stone. We get swaggered, but a held Personberry cures our confusion. So you just sharply rose my attack, buddy. The attack boost allows us to one-shot the Mightyena. Crobat goes down, and I surf the Camerupt, and it lives on 1 HP. And then it kills Jaws. Then Steven toxics me. Like, I know he was trying to activate my Guts ability, but seriously? So now the only Pokemon left is Mightyena. I have a Pokemon that physically cannot do damage to it, and an almost dead toxic Teriyama. Thankfully, Mightyena hits Skarmory instead of me, and then we kill with Guts Vital Throw. Colorblind Archie ticks off Kyogre, making him have a fight with Groudon. Now a 10-year-old has to get Daddy Rayquaza to just break up the fight. I fetch Big Daddy Rayquaza. He flies off to presumably yell at his kids for arguing. I catch a Spheal to replace Sharpedo. Spheal evolves into Walrein. We take the Trapinch back onto our team. It evolves into Flygon. We shove a Leaf Stone in Gloom's face, and we have a Vileplume. I set up a sunny day, and because of Audrey's chlorophyll, we are faster, and Solar Beam now is 1 turn. We 1-turn Solar Beam, killing the Love Disc. That baits out Celio because it has an ice move. We also one-shot it, and then it baits out Kingdra because Kingdra also has an ice move. We outspeed the Kingdra with chlorophyll and get it into the yellow with a Solar Beam. We survive a non-critical hit Ice Beam, and then we finish it off with another Solar Beam. Kingdra is down. Wishcash comes out as Sunny Day fades. I switch to Fleegon, predicting an earthquake, but it just goes for Amnesia. I slowly chip away at Wishcash with some flies. What if we belly drummed, and just swept it?
No.
This is gonna be a bad idea.
This is a horrible idea.
It's gonna be funny, though. Oh, balls! I did not predict that. We're fine.
Aiden?
I switch to Banette and burn it with the Will-O-Wisp. And then I switch back and forth between Flygon and Walrein, as Walrein resists Water Pulse, and Flygon doesn't take damage from Earthquake. I do this until Wishcash dies of burn. Crawdon gets body slammed a couple of times, and that's Juan defeated. Now, it's Wally time, and because he was bullied his entire high school career for choosing Gardevoir instead of Gallade, he's out for blood. We first Ice Beam his Altaria and it one-shots. I one-shot his Roselia with a Psychic. We one-shot his Delcatty with the Vital Throw. I switch to Gandalf thinking it's gonna go for a Psychic, but it goes for a Future Sight instead. I paralyze it with Body Slam, then it synchronized paralyzes my Walrein, and then he full restores. I switch to Flygon and hope I can crunch it to death. It takes a Psychic and lives on 4 HP. We outspeed it, crunch it, and it lives in the red. And then it goes for another Psychic. Down goes Flygon. I switch in Alakazam, and we take the Future Sight, and down goes Alakazam. I get a couple of Body Slams, and then it kills with a Psychic. Gardevoir spams double teams, and then goes for a Future Sight, leaving us to kill it with Vital Throw. And then we one-shot the Magneton with Vital Throw.
But now I need to build a completely new team.
Next water type that's gonna die is a Azumarill. Next time I do this game, I'm doing a water only. Welcome our C team, the team that no one really wants, but is decent. After that fight with Lucifer himself, I'm not playing around. First up is gonna feel my wrath, Sydney with dark types. We set up a substitute with Lanoon, and then Belly Drum, and then we just return his entire team. Swept. I told you I'm not messing around anymore. I give Lanoon a Silk Scarf, and then we substitute Belly Drum and Shadow Ball, all of Phoebe's ghost types. For Glacia, a held citrus berry makes sure we don't die to hail, and the same fate happens to her. Her entire team swept by return. Dorake meets the exact same fate, getting swept by return. It's time for the god Lanoon himself to rest. We let off a return, and Wailord finishes us off. But don't worry, it's the champion fight. We can start sacking like crazy. Audrey comes out, and with a sun up, we can outspeed and one-shot the Wailord with Solar Beam. We Sleep Powder the Milotic, the sun fades, and then we Solar Beam to finish off the Milotic. We Solar Beam the Tentacruel, but it doesn't do half. We survive an Ice Beam, and then we Sleep Powder the Tentacruel. Wallace screws around with full restores, and then Wishcash comes out as we run out of Solar Beam PP. Then Wishcash kills Vileplume with an Earthquake. Jackie Chan survives a critical hit Earthquake as we do barely any damage with Vital Throw. I switch in Batman predicting another Earthquake, then I do a bit of damage with Wing Attack. I get into the red with another Wing Attack, but it goes for Surf. Predicting another Surf, I switch to Dory, but it heals, and then we survive an Earthquake, then I fire off a Surf that does basically no damage. I switch back to Crobat predicting an Earthquake. After some switching back and forth, I switch in Hirayama on a Surf, and Jackie Chan goes down. Now I have a safe switch into Casper, and I use Shadow Ball, as Wish Cash goes for Surf. Then we outspeed and kill the Wish Cash with the Shadow Ball. I switch in Dory on Ludicolo, and then it Giga Drains me, and then I die to Leech Shade. I have a safe switch into Batman to use a quick wing attack before he goes down to a Surf. There's just Casper left. With a safe switch into Casper, we use a Shadow Ball and kill the Ludicolo. Gyarados is all that remains. Gyarados outspeeds us, goes for an Earthquake, and Casper survives with 10 HP. We click Thunderbolt, and Gyarados survives by the skin of its teeth. I think it's all over. But Wallace heals, we go for another Thunderbolt, and Gyarados lives on literally 1 HP, but he gets paralyzed. With the Gyarados paralyzed, we can outspeed and kill Gyarados, winning the Pokemon Emerald Hardcore Nuzlocke by the skin of our teeth. Thanks for watching.